Man, this is...
Is it sexy or is it sexy?
This is the best Chevelle I've seen in my whole life. And it may be the coolest looking car that I ever seen drag racing style. Like,
I mean, it goes with the ponytail.
Are we changing your name now?
To what, Chevelle?
To Chevelle? So this is something that was learned, right? Like the larger the stroke, and I bet it's a big stroke engine, it's just not a huge piston. The larger the stroke, the motor naturally brings everything down the RPM range, right? So she leaves the line on its own better and recovers from a gear shifting better. She was way lean when we cranked that you can see like she'll literally starve and feather die, right? We had way less fuel pressure than before, and there is a difference between the tune-ups that we had. So more likely they compensate that back in the shop. So we had just to put some fuel back in, she started working well. And I believe the pump enrichment that we did plus whatever the curve we did, like cheaper rev really nice and comes back to idle straight up. Sometimes you have too much fuel. She would free rev, you shut off the throttle, she kind of almost bogs and comes back up. That's too much fuel. So right now she seems to be really good. Let's give it a second. Felipe, you have your stuff? So we're gonna give it a second to her to kind of smooth out the temperature across all the parts. And then we're gonna get ready and we're gonna do the first run. First run on this thing is fairly simple. Two-step, release the two-step and shut off. So it's like not even a 60-foot, just to make sure that the fuel pressure will go up as we want to. All the injectors are working as they should. There's nothing really weird with it. And with this, we can kind of extrapolate stuff and make sure that we are on the right direction on the tune-up. Camera right now is doing something really useful. It's testing the time-based features. That includes shifting. So the unit can simulate the run and shifts it. And you make sure that your lever is moving, the output is correct, and stuff like that. main feed, you do a lap like this, the car can catch on fire, push head gasket. Pro Charger cars, they vibrate like hell. One recommendation is a Higgins clamp. So the Higgins spin around, don't get loose. If you don't do a Higgins clamp, have a Sharpie, like a silver Sharpie, and at least put it on and then you can see if they move. But pretty often, check all this, right? Pretty often, like every lap. So at least we see this one. It wasn't bad, so I didn't even ask him to shut off, right?
You just tightened that.
Crazy, right? Yeah. Crazy. Big motor makes 2,000, like not even trying. Crazy, huh?
Wow, I did that.
Didn't even try.
Hey, I gotta drive this bitch. Hey, you want to drive?
The log that you guys just seen it. So I'm gonna try to kind of space like it was a run, so the scale looks right. As you can see, timing, right? I run a plot, like an engine plot and a time-based time, right? So until we figure this out, how the motor wants to behave and stuff like that, we're gonna be doing this just to make sure, right? So you see this small spike right here, actually a valley, right? This is actually the plot taking a lot of timing out to keep the motor where we want to, right? So that tells me that my plot is too high or I'm taking too much timing out of it, right? So based on the power curve, it looks more like a radial curve. So a big tire will require more power to go fast, right? So that the power right now, if you guys remember, we can turn back on, or you can see right there. Yeah, right here. So it's pretty flat going uphill. There is a small drop, pretty flat going uphill. That's more like a radial power curve. On big tires, you're gonna need to jump and then come in. So at least now we know that's what's happening. So I'm gonna feed timing back because we took a lot of timing out and move my plot up to see if I can make more power. And right here where the motor is going slowly uphill, I'm gonna try to flare higher. So she's flaring 75. I'm gonna try to give at least 5 to 1750, like a 750 RPMs here, and go to 8,000, 8,200, right? And so they can have something that's closer to what they're gonna do power management wise, right? After that, as we're ramping the power, she was good. The shifting actually happened pretty early. We can go a little up. Where's my gear? Right there. Boom. So the output was there. 8,400, that's what I asked for. But the shift actually happened, and you can see on the drive shaft right there. See the drive shaft moving.
Does it have converter pressure? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. So 8,600 was the shift, drive shaft was 4,800. You can see it kind of moves around when it shifts. And then he shifted again right here. So that was the 2.3, right? And then he shut off right there. The motor was 8,600. So 8,600 high gear by 2.3 seconds, a little quick. As we go up on the shift, the converter is able to keep on it. That gear is gonna happen later. It will show more power as well, right? Because it's just blowing through the converter, right? But the converter is right for this case. It just needs RPM. It just needs RPM to help the converter. So we'll do this for the next lap. But everything seems to be working right. And she's already within 10% what she's gonna make. If you think about it, she make 3,000, she's gonna make 3,400. She's pretty close. She's like 12% down power, that's it. So usually you need to be far off to do something wrong on a big motor. The smaller motors I think is easier to do this just because we get more anxious about getting a number. These things, they make so much, it's more about management than actually making them. For sure the regulator, it's pretty small. Like I took half a turn and I only lost, I don't know, 3 pounds of pressure or something. So I'm gonna take a little more to drop this fuel pressure, drop it down a little.
converter pressure right here. We can see the dump. So dump's on. So it's dumping fluid. You can see the pressure goes down from 120 to 60. We leave the line and around 0.6, full pressure on it, right? And then you can see when you gear shifting, it changes the pressure, puts a lot of load on the converter when you change the gears. So you can see gear change, right? So gear change, boost. Let's see what she makes now. 49 pounds. 49 pounds of boost, 85. She may make 50 here. If we shift a little higher, she may make 50. So you can see my curve, the launching time retard right there that we did, right? So you can see this one. Launch fuel enrichment. I added fuel, as you guys can see right there. Like we're trying to be safe, right? So after 2 seconds, I start feeding with fuel, right? The motor did not change the pitch. Crazy, huh? By the time he shut off, it was like almost 4%. The motor's on the same exact pitch. Like once she gets some temperature, you can feed fuel. Ain't no big of a deal. Remember what we spoke about cam sync? It's 147. I think we have set up 120. Ain't no big deal. Don't have to worry about it. Fuel duty cycle, just common knowledge, like FT injectors, 720s, big Pro Charger motor, they usually run close to 50-50. So we have 48-60. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna check on the plugs they're taking out for us. We're gonna see how it is. And I would assume it's rich. So I'm gonna take fuel mostly from my primary to try to get them more even on those numbers, right? And this is more a reference. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this because it's an easier reference for me. Like when I deal with them, big Pro Chargers, Noonan, AJ, doesn't matter. They are around 50-50 on those injectors. So it helps you try to understand if everything is okay, right? If that number is completely skewed, like something's wrong, right? Fuel pressure is wrong, the injector's clogged, you don't know, right? So that's a pretty good one. Let's see. We should have estimated power. Let's see what she's making. Look at that. Estimated power. 3712. 36. This is where I'm ramping the fuel before. Let's see. 3600. We have two approaches now that we can do. Number one, we know she's rich, right? And she's rich in about 10%. If we take 10% out, more likely the motor will make about 3,300, and this will drop 10% about 3,300. So I think this is actually fairly accurate. We have fuel for 3,600. The motor don't want to, so she makes 3,000, right? So I bet this is fairly close to what actually we need to have. It would make if you was using the fuel the right way, right? So as we take fuel away, this number is gonna go down, actually, right? But dyno numbers will go up, so they will start to getting close to match. And also the spark plugs tell us that we close on the tune-up. We may need to fine adjust this, and then we have a good baseline for the car itself. And I like the onboard deal. You can see 48 water grains, 49, 48. DA is actually pretty good, about 800, 700 feet. But as you can see, the car affects the onboard, right? So it goes from 750 to 930. We have 100 feet movement just because it's close to the car. So fumes, temperature, stuff like that affects the reading of the onboard weather station. That's why usually when you have a weather station, you put it on top of your trailer, away from the generator, trying to get as much fresh air as you can. This thing is behind the beauty, right? So you will get polluted from what is going on. But nonetheless, 100 feet ain't that bad if you think about it, you know? So you have that on the data. And more likely down the track, it won't get so bad because you are outside, right? So I personally think that's a really cool idea to have the onboard weather station. Then 1.2 happened at 86.78. Okay, so we know that we can keep going up a little, right? The 2.3 was 88.04, so we're getting really close, right? And you can even see that it got to that timing wall that we have, you see it? It dropped our timing like a bunch. So I'm gonna try to move that a little up so that this doesn't happen, because you can see clearly the motor went back and up when it took a lot of timing out, right? So I'm gonna move a little up so I can move a little up. 2.3 shift, I want my target's 89, right? At least for now. And my 1.2 is also 89, but like right now it's 87. So I'm gonna give, I don't wanna hit on the nail because they have a small window. If we miss it, it may hurt something. So instead of giving 200 here to go to 89, I'm gonna give like 150 or so. And instead of giving 100, I'm gonna give like 75 or so, right? And see if it can be like 89, 89 or really close to it. She made 49 and a half, right? So I bet she's gonna make 52 plus down the track or something like that. Took some fuel out. And now we have EGTs working. And they will tell the truth about how we're handling the motor. Like EGTs are really useful to see what we're doing. Man, EGTs are flat, right? They're not even 1100. So that tells me that we're being really easy to this thing, like really easy. So blown motors, they usually go 1150 to 1250 on average, right? When you have them right. You can be hot because the time is too low, or you can be hot because it's too lean. Both will make the temperature go up. But like right now, the temperature is so down. It's just down. So that tells me that the timing is not that far off, because otherwise it will be hot. But the fuel, more likely, it's a ton of fuel still on the motor. I dropped some fuel in the primary, went up a little in the secondary. Should rev a little higher, so it may change something. But it's almost I need to remove 5 to 7% on primary and give, a couple percent on secondary, and she'll be pretty close. But like right now, I don't know exactly how much power she made, but just by looking at the graph, I'm so used to that, so I kind of know where it goes. So that was about 3,200 on that run, right? And if you see, look at the estimated power, it went down. It says 34 now, right? So they are getting to the same point. So I bet that's pretty much what we have right now. It needs a little fuel out. She's gonna make like 33 and it's gonna show 33, and that's fairly close. I take timing away and add fuel out the back, and you can see right here the power trying to go up is actually like it's more fuel, right? I'm just feeding with fuel, right? So it's not it's making this power, it's just getting rich. But before, early in the run, just like 34 something, right? So we're getting really close, right? This is always useful. Now we're gonna take a look at the plugs and see, but everything is so good, and this thing is less than 10% of what she can make actually, that I'm gonna check with him all he wants to do. We can do one more maybe, just make sure shifting is okay, stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. Don't need to keep beating on it. Now it's gonna be power management. Take to the track, make sure the chassis works, and see how fast can we go and stuff like that. But like everything is working as it should. Even the EGTs we got it back, so that's useful. Are we changing your name now?
To what, Chevelle?
To Chevelle?
It wouldn't stick if we did.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't.
Of all the cars to get named after, and it's a damn Monza.
Are the odds?
I mean, I guess that's better than calling me split bumper, right?
Yes, for sure.
You know that Monza, that's all Sean Ellington's fault.
Really? Was him?
Yeah, because one night we were at Sonic.
Okay.
Way back before Street Outlaws. We were going street racing, and Sean had been at home watching MMA fights all night. He come rolling up to Sonic in the death trap, his Mustang, about half lit. And he looked at me and he couldn't remember my name, and he's like, Monza.
That's how it started?
That's where it all started.
Way.
So it's all his fault.
Man, it happens. Man, my buddy Murder Nova.
Buddy,
oh boy.
He gets a cool name like Murder Nova, and I got stuck with Monza.
Man, I like it. You know what is the funniest thing? We have a car back in Brazil that's Monza, its name is nothing with this one,
right? It's a European front wheel drive car, so like people actually don't like it.
They made a Corvair Monza too.
Yes,
remember?
yes, a version of Corvair. Yeah. Well, let's think about Monza, the racetrack. That's a badass racetrack.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have those options. So no, we're not changing Monza to Chevelle. Besides, man,
Is it sexy or is it sexy?
this is the best Chevelle I see in my whole life. And it may be the coolest looking car that I ever seen drag racing style. Like,
I mean, it goes with the ponytail.
man, I'm gonna tell you, this is out of the charts. Like when you crank it up and drove up here with this thing and it stopped inside the shop, man, this thing is beautiful. So Cameron Johnston race cars, right, from Florida.
Cameron built the car.
Man, they did an amazing job on this thing.
It's yeah. I mean, everybody that touched this car done an amazing job. When
Yeah.
it comes to Rally Carpenter painted it. I mean, the paint job is phenomenal.
Phenomenal, yeah.
He put the vinyl top on it.
Like
Phenomenal.
perfect, from factory,
I mean,
right? Like it's
the
crazy.
The car has the factory door handles. Seen that?
Wow,
Open
yeah. No,
closes.
the way that
Oh.
it's like a fridge, like we say, right?
Yeah.
You know, perfect.
Anybody that knows the true 70 Chevelles, how good the doors closed on it. They were solid. This feels the same way, and it's got carbon fiber doors.
That's crazy. It was an amazing job. So, Area 51, Omar, they did the wiring.
Yeah,
Right.
Omar wired it. Proline MH7. Of course, the baddest of the bad. It's all FuelTech. Marty Marilat housing. 10-inch gear, billet, center section. Mark Mickey tranny converter.
And it's all the goodies. Pro Charger,
Pro Charger 140-1. I mean,
F4
yeah.
140-1.
There's nothing that I can think of we could have done any better. It's got the best of everything on it.
Yeah, being honest, I could not find it. You know, we were looking through this thing, so it was pretty cool. Because my buddy here messaged me, oh, can we do a dyno? I'm like, man, actually I have a pretty cool opening. We're doing a FuelTech Education class, so our training this week. And I told him, like, man, we have a training, if you don't mind, because we're going to be talking about it and showing to people, right? I don't mind, it's fine to me. It was really cool, like when I told everyone Monday, because nobody knew it. The people that come to the training, we don't tell beforehand, right? So Monday we were doing the presentation, everything, like, we're going to surprise. I don't know if you guys heard, but like Monza has a new car. Like, hey, the Chevelle. People already knew it about it, you know. They're like, yeah, he's coming. What? Everyone is excited about it, you know, because like I haven't seen in person. It was the first time, but I've seen photos, and it's amazing. In person is even better. Like
the interwebs is mad because we ain't racing this car.
man, I'm mad. I'm mad at you, but like you literally have the best of the best. You know, big tire, steel roof and quarter style car, type of a car. You know. The best engine that you can get with a Pro Charger, the best Pro Charger you can have, the best transmission you can have. You know, the chassis, we know Cameron does amazing vehicles. So like, I guarantee you, this thing hits the strip, it's gonna be as fast as hell, and it's just like sitting for now, right?
10 months it's set.
Okay, 10 months, man. 10 months is gone. It's time to be born, right?
I've been trying to get him to drop a
okay,
little bit.
what are we doing? What are we doing now? It's 2024, but
We're gonna go race it now. I mean, this is the first step right here.
Okay.
Getting all this right. This, we've never ran a Hemi. We've never ran a Pro Charger. So when I told you when we got here, you're gonna have to school us on this deal because.
So let me get this straight. You were a nitrous guy back in the day, and you went to turbos.
And we
That's
went
what happened.
481X twin turbo with the
Okay,
black car.
and you spent a pretty good time like this.
Yeah.
And this is the first time Hemi and supercharger.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've pretty much tried everything but a screw blower. It's a screw blower next. I mean, if I keep watching you run the numbers you've been running. So, now, I don't see us ever running a screw blower because I'm getting pretty old. This one ought to last me till I've had my fair share of racing, and then I'm going to put him in it.
Nah, yeah, that's what I'm about to say, you know. Put a young gun there,
Yeah,
right?
Put him in it.
We put him in it. We put him in it, don't worry.
I mean, you and him's about the same size.
You see that? You see
see
that?
that?
I can shake down for you if you don't want to.
That works.
I shake it down for you like when she's running straight, like go ahead.
That works.
But no, we wanted to bring it here. I knew if I brought it here and let you dyno it, it's right. Yeah, I stood over there, I wasn't even nervous. Anywhere else, I'd have been a nervous wreck. When I know you're on the computer.
No, everything worked pretty well, right? Yeah. The whole team worked really well. So it was actually a really good experience for us as well, because like being able to do this on the class, and telling people, you know, this is what we're gonna do, how we do, so people can understand better. Some people have only the idea like, oh, it's just a dyno. But like honestly, the dyno is the smallest of the tools that we have inside this building, you know, and being able to check in person what you have on the car, how you did everything, how things are wired, how things are plumbed, it's pretty priceless to make sure the car works. And then by the end of all that checkup, to be able to actually run it, put power through it. And honestly, I'd rather have a racetrack, but like it's raining right now. If we had a racetrack, we wouldn't be doing this.
Well,
We'd have to postpone for a different day, you know?
It just seems like it's less wear and tear on the car to come here and get the bugs out of it before we go beat on it at the racetrack.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think you're money ahead to do this.
Well, 100%, 100%.
And
Yeah.
not only that, but it makes your confidence level higher when you show up to the racetrack and you're fixing to start testing it. Because tune-wise, you know you're good.
I told you, like right now, the way that we did this thing, you can go to the track and sand it. If it should go straight, keep going. Go to the finish line, first rip, because we already did 60 foot. We already did 330 here, right? So powertrain, drivetrain wise, it's ready to go. Right now, it's chassis wise. And if you set up square works well, you know, you kind of know what's going to go regarding rear steer and preloads and stuff. She goes straight, you keep going, bud, until you prove the chutes. That's it.
We're ready. We're excited. So, well worth the long drive from home to here. And the food was phenomenal. I mean, y'all need to just take the class for the food because the food was good. But no, the class was great because we got to stand here and learn a bunch.
Yes.
Watching you too. And so
Yes.
that made it a whole lot better for me for sure because I don't hardly know. You know, Brandon does it all.
Yes.
So for me to stand here and watch you explain how this and that works was a lot better for me too.
Perfect.
So it worked out great
it's
for
good.
both of
It's
us.
good to have that idea, right? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it does that. Okay, cool. You know, that makes it easier when you're going to
I
race.
mean, I've been to one of your schools when you come to Oklahoma City. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
But still, every time I watch you, I take a little more up, and it's just knowledge for me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so it's raining out there. We finished with this thing. The class is still going, so the guys are inside in the classroom right there. And I really hope that you're not lying to me and you put this thing on the racetrack, man.
It's going to the
You know,
racetrack.
everyone wants to see this running.
Hell,
Okay?
we may call you. You may come help us.
I'm gonna be in a speed dive. Hey, Louis, what I'm doing here? Like, press this button, put to the floor.
We're gonna put you on Team Viewer. Help us. Help.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for coming,
Thanks for
stopping
having
by.
us. Appreciate your
You
time.
know, and good luck. Right, the car deserves to be at the track. It's not like a showpiece. Besides being like a show car, it is. It's
now
amazing.
we're gonna go sling rubber all over it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's
Hell
what we
yeah.
built it for, right?
You need to honor it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yep. We're gonna get it out. We're gonna race it this year, and we're gonna make everybody that's helped us with it proud.
Perfect.